Getting into volume 2 of the side story for DanMachi, I've been really getting quite excited by reading these, and I'm just reading one after another because the story is always kind of evolving, and yes, there are some similarities to the anime itself, but there is definitely a lot of attention to detail in the light novels that I really find quite interesting, and it definitely leads to a lot of interesting questions that I have always bubbling in my mind of where this is going to go, who's up to what, where are all these conniving individuals up to. Just there are so many moving pieces of the puzzle that I find so fascinating and so fun. When you read the canon-based story and you see Bell go through his journey, as I mentioned in my review on the first volume, you get to see a much more simplified way of the world itself, which I think is quite fun and interesting, seeing Bell build up and grow, but being able to see Loki's familiars, they're already established, they've got connections, they've got power, so seeing rivalries in that, you really see the stakes go up. So it's really fun to just see a different sort of perspective of the same world as what Bell would see it as, you see it as Irons does. And I really do find that quite enjoying, especially going into volume 2. You do get to see a little bit more of what Loki's up to as well as Irons, but I really liked the parts where Loki was up to, because you really get to see a more fun part of Loki that I get really excited about, because Loki, as much as she can be a little bit weird with the other girls, but when she's on her own or with the lovely wolf boy, she definitely has an interesting personality, and she's very conniving and very smart. Yes, she comes off a bit silly, she says some weird things, and she kind of just gives that impression, especially the sort of facial impressions in the anime, that she just is a little bit wonkos or isn't always clued up, but you really do get to see that she is a lot more clued on, and she plays that silly persona off really well. As what I love about Loki, she's trying to sort of uncover what's going on, who's behind it, and she's piecing bit by bit together. And I would say the anime and the light novel are quite similar for the most part. There is definitely some scenes where there's a bit of dialogue going on, where you really get to find out some more of the interesting world building that's going on, and just some of the other entities that are out there that could be behind all the weird stuff that's going on, particularly when it comes to the death of a particular adventurer down in the lower floors, and of course finding out about the weird gems themselves and where these creatures are coming from. And I found that quite interesting. One of the names that was brought up was the Wicked Gods. That isn't something that was brought up in the anime, that was brought up in the light novel, and finding out about the ghosts of the past when it comes to these wicked gods. And I'm really interested to see where that goes. Obviously, it's going to go somewhere with another 6+ more volumes there are. And again, please no spoilers. I'm really enjoying where this story is going, and I've just been really excited just to read one volume after the next, and with slowing down on the main canon story while season 2 is airing, just having that side story there to read on the side as extra has been really fun, and I'm just really interested to see where a lot of this goes and how it syncs up with the main story, even going into season 2 itself. And I think what was also really creepy, and even in the art itself of the light novels, as much as there isn't heaps of art in the light novels itself, seeing the creepy orb itself really does radiate that very disgusting feeling, and the wording behind it is also very, very detailed in how creepy that thing is, how much power it just oozes out of it, especially dominating over eyes, but doesn't seem to affect other individuals. And the fight scenes nonetheless are just so detailed as well, with Irons just so determined to gain power. I sound so excited about this volume because I just really do enjoy where the story goes, and just the extra attention to detail to Loki, the Amazon girls, and Irons. And I don't find the elf girl that I mentioned in my first volume as annoying in the light novel. She's nowhere near as annoying, but in the anime, if I was to do a comparison, she's still really annoying because she just says things that are just kind of unneeded. I feel like she's forced in the anime because she's a new character and they wanted her to kind of get her sort of running worth value with introducing her in the anime. And I just wish they focused more on Eyes and of course the other characters as extra. But overall, I really loved where this volume is going. I'm very interested to see what the deal is with the orb itself, and if there are more of them. What's the deal with the gems? Of course, the sort of deity that's running the guild building itself. We do get to see a bit of him and just how he's sort of very neutral And this is something that's also very different to the anime. The anime makes it sound like they're the ones behind it. The guild building, the guild sort of main culprits are the gods that the main culprit is the god that's running the guild building itself. The anime, at least for me, makes it feel like he's the main culprit. In the light novel, it's not the case. In the light novel itself, it really shows that even they are puzzled at what's going on, especially the entity that's working alongside this god. They all seem very puzzled by what's going on, and that's when they mention about the wicked gods and the ghosts of the past and all these just other individuals that could be lurking in the shadows. And that's where I really enjoyed sort of the possibilities of where it could be going. And I definitely have my own suspicions, which is why I'm just so excited to keep reading through it, because there's just so many places that it could go, and just seeing it sync up with, of course, the storyline with Belle and, of course, Eyes. It's just very fun as well. And of course we get to see a little bit of Belle at the end of the volume, where Eyes, of course, finds him with Mind down, and she tries to sort of nurse him back, and then he freaks out and runs away. I always find that kind of funny because she always pouts when he runs away. But overall, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who are your favorite characters? What are your overall thoughts about this particular volume? And I'm just really excited to see where the story goes. But of course, please no spoilers. Of course, I'm reading this and enjoying this for the first time. And it also helps that I've forgotten most of what happened in the anime. So watching the anime in sync with the light novels is quite interesting to see the differences. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I will see you, beautiful nerds, in the next video.